Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I want to talk about the, I don't know if it's necessarily disappointing results of the 4080 Super, but in a way it kind of is because that's pretty much the power and the price. You know what? A lot of people are like, yeah, that should have been the price range. And I'm like, dude, you guys just literally went from 699 or 599 MSRP for an 80 series class all the way up to $1,200, and now it's going back down to $999. But here's the funny thing is, when I looked around today for the 4080, yeah, they're already sold out. They're already gone. Like I said, the scalpers were going to go ahead and pick those up, and then they were going to sell them back to you. All the ARB cards are more expensive than the regular 30 or 4080. So in a way, like, it is disappointing because you're still going to get basically ripped off at the end of the day when you want to buy one of these, because Founders Edition cards are going to be gone immediately. Those are going to be scalped pretty quick, like it appears they already are. And then you're going to get stuck with the AIB cards, which are going to be jacked up in price. This whole thing with Nvidia stinks, man. Like this is so terrible for gamers that are getting into PC, and especially the people that get suckered into the Nvidia side of things, man. Like, don't get me wrong, they make a good product, whatever, but not that good. Once you've tried AMD and once you play around with AMD, like, it is not that much better to where you can justify spending that much money on there. So and I bring that up today because I happen to see like actually like a couple of benchmarks for these 4080s versus the 7900 XTX, and it looks like the 7900 XTX is still beating this card in rasterization. And I was like, oh wait a minute, I thought they said it was gonna destroy this card. But then, you flip on ray tracing, and clearly, the Nvidia cards do a lot better in terms of ray tracing, so that's fine. There's no way to take that away. I mean, in my opinion, if ray tracing is important to you, you should definitely buy a 4090. You shouldn't even mess around with the 4080. You should just go straight to the 4090, because if that's what matters to you, then that is the best option for you when it comes to ray tracing. You shouldn't even be worried about any of the other cards in the stack, because they're not going to provide the experience that a 4090 is going to provide. And then my second recommendation is, for everything else, you should probably get an AMD 7900 XTX. Even my 7900 XT has been strong. I just got done checking out Grand Blue Fantasy Relink on my 7900 XT, and it's at 4K. It's pushing anywhere from 65 all the way up to 120 frames, and it just depends on the area you're in. And when you turn off the frame counter, it's like, wow, this game is smooth. It feels great. So I don't even understand at the end of the day why people are like, oh my gosh, I got to have all these. To me, it's just a reason to make you guys continuously waste your money on these products when you don't even need them. Like, we don't need as much power as they're throwing at us. And well, don't get me wrong, we do need the power, but we do not need the prices of that marginal gain. That marginal gain from 7900 XTX to a 4090, or from 4080 to a 4090, that's definitely not worth another freaking $600. It's not. It's not. The uptick that you get literally from a 7600 XT to a 7800 XT is like, I mean, seriously, man, I don't even know where to go with this whole PC thing anymore, because it's just dumb. Like, we're literally throwing our money away when we can get an awesome experience at the low end. And I'm talking above console settings and above console experience with a 7900 XT or a 7600 XT, and then a 7800 XT makes that better. I mean, that's pretty much my recommendation for a PC right now, is if you want like a solid experience, you don't need more than a 7800 XT. You really don't. You probably should save your money and buy a mid-range card every generation. If you really want all that 4090 power, there's no reason for you to go out there and spend triple the amount for that. When next generation's cards are going to come out, they're going to be half price. They're going to be $500-600. You'll be able to get 4090 power with those cards, or pretty close to it. And then every generation, like, you'll move up and you'll save so much freaking money. That's why I recommend, like, if you're getting into PC gaming, get in the mid range and stay there. Don't move up. There's no reason to move up. Once you move up, you're pretty much stuck in perpetual freaking throwing your money in the trash. When every other generation, like, you're only 2 years behind. You're only 2 years behind if you go mid gen. You're only 2 years behind, and every 2 years you get to spend a fraction of the cost for that high end stuff, and you still get to be right there. That's like one of the things I've been doing, like, lately with the PC stuff, is trying to see where my needs are gonna be best met when it comes to PC stuff, and I'm settling on the mid range. I am. That would be, if I was on Nvidia, that'd be the 70 series. On AMD, it's going to be the 7800 series, or the 800 series. That's pretty much where I'm at with these cards. I want to be able to upgrade every generation and get the new features and whatever else comes with these cards. Plus, I think it's a little bit easier to get into that segment. I think that's probably the best segment, and that's probably what PC gamers should kind of aim for, is kind of being in that mid range. I mean, if you want to be an enthusiast, fine. I'm not going to tell you not to. Go ahead, do whatever you want. But when it comes to, like, making sense out of the PC space and getting the most bang for your buck, I think mid range. I'm pushing, with 1440p, I'm pushing above 60 frames, usually about the 80 frames per second mark on the 7800 XT. That's good for me. 4K, I can get to 60 if I'm using, like, FSR or some of that other stuff. That's satisfactory to me. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't need 300 freaking frames to play a game like Grand Blue Fantasy. I mean, this game tops out at 120 anyways. At 120. I mean, most of these games that we get on PC are going to be console ports. They're going to be ported over from the console to the PC space, and the PC is going to be able to play them. It's got more power. You literally don't need 4090 power. You really don't need 7900 XTX power. Like, it'd be nice to have, obviously, but I really do believe, after a few years of this and buying all these cards and testing things out, I really do believe that the mid range is where it's at. If you get yourself a 7800 XT, a 4070 Super, and stay in that kind of range, I guess maybe a 4070 Ti Super would probably be all right either way, but I don't know, man. I feel like the higher up in card you go, the less bang for buck you get, to be completely honest with you. When you can throw in a $500 card and you could push 4K and you could push high frame rate F1440p and push high frame rates at 1080p and still be able to utilize, like, max settings and all of that stuff, I think anything above that is kind of a waste of money. And I think, I really do. I think that you're wasting your money. You're literally paying for a frame rate at that point. That's all you're paying for. And I'm sorry, guys. Like, I do not think that the ends justify the means when you are literally paying for a frame rate above what you can get on a mid-range card. Because that's all you're paying for. Everything else, you got the graphics. I mean, I guess in NVIDIA's case, maybe you're getting a little bit better ray tracing performance, but I don't know. Even there, I don't feel like the cost of that card justifies what you get out of it. Especially when what you can get in the mid range versus what you're paying for the high end. I don't think that's worth your money or your time. And to be completely honest with you, I don't think the markup for NVIDIA cards is worth it over what you get with the AMD cards. I think it's just insane. It's insane the mental gymnastics we play with ourselves as gamers to try to for us to try to justify these expenses and these things that we buy just to try to play a game, man. That's so dumb. I'll tell you what, man, this AMD experience has been awesome. I love it. I think that I think that I will easily be sticking with AMD for a very long time because I like the product they sell and I like the performance I get out of it. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.